I never thought I'd live through something like this. We read about these things in the news. They seem far away. Headlines from another country. But not here. Not in Austria. Not at my school. My name's Jakob. I'm 17. And I was in the building when it happened. It was a Tuesday, June 10th. Overcast skies. A quiet morning. I had a music performance exam that day, so I got to school early. Around 8:45. I had my guitar and a binder of sheet music. Just another school day. Our school, BORG Dreierschützengasse in Graz, is focused on arts and sciences. It's a close-knit place. Friendly teachers, familiar faces, nothing dangerous ever happens there. First period was relaxed. We rehearsed in one of the third-floor music rooms. I remember laughing with Anna and Lucas, my classmates. Downstairs, someone was entering the school through the main entrance. No one stopped him. He was quiet, calm, carrying a bag. It was just before 10 a.m. We were setting up for our music exam in one of the third-floor rehearsal rooms, the kind with old acoustic tiles, thick carpet, and upright pianos pushed against the walls. The room was warm, too warm. I remember wiping sweat from my hands before picking up my guitar. Then, out of nowhere, a loud, sharp bang echoed through the building. It was distant, maybe a floor below us. We all flinched. Someone laughed nervously and said, "Did a chair break?" Our teacher froze, eyes flicking toward the door. Then came the second bang, closer this time, louder, more distinct. That's when I noticed the silence. No footsteps in the hallway. No classroom chatter. Nothing. Just one long pause, like the entire building had suddenly held its breath. Then a third bang rang out, this time so close it rattled the floor, followed by screaming. Real screaming. Raw. Panicked. Run for your life kind of screaming. Our teacher moved fast. She stepped to the door, peeked into the hallway, then immediately shut it and turned the lock. She flicked the lights off, turned to us and whispered, "Lock down. Now get to the back. Don't speak." Some of us stood frozen. It didn't feel real, but her voice had this edge to it, clipped and controlled, like she was holding something back. That's when we got it. Something was wrong. Really wrong. We moved without thinking. Behind the desks. Under tables. One of the girls next to me was shaking already. I could still hear footsteps upstairs. Fast ones. Some of them heavy. A door slammed. More screaming. But no announcement that came over the intercom. No lockdown in effect. No sirens. Just chaos. Muffled cries. And another muffled bang down the hall. At that moment, we had no idea what was going on. Just that we had to hide. Somewhere outside our door, someone was hurting people. And we didn't know how close they were. There was a small supply closet in our practice room, mostly used for storing cables and old equipment. Our teacher opened it and gestured for us to get in. 4 of us squeezed inside. Me, Anna, Nico, and Frau Lechner. She pulled the door closed behind us and switched off the light. It was pitch black. The air felt thick. The walls were cold, and for a few seconds, it was silent. Then we heard a loud sound outside the door. Another bang, followed by the sharp sound of running. I pressed myself into the corner of the closet. My knees were jammed against a case of mic stands. Someone was crying quietly beside me. Then we heard footsteps, not running, walking, slow, steady, deliberate. They stopped just outside our door. For a moment, no one moved. I don't think I even blinked. We couldn't hear breathing or voices, just that quiet, terrifying silence, like the air itself was listening. Then came a sound down the hall, a door creaking open, another bang, a scream, cut short. I will never forget Anna's hand tightening on my arm in that moment. We stayed hidden in that tiny space, barely breathing. We didn't know if we were next. Eventually, the footsteps moved away, but we stayed in that closet for what felt like a lifetime. Even when the police came and knocked, we didn't move at first. It didn't feel real. We didn't know if we were safe. When officers opened the door and told us to come out, we were still frozen in place. It took them gently repeating it before we got up. They let us out, down the stairs. We passed cracked glass, torn posters, and something smeared on the tile floor that I didn't want to look at. One girl from another room had been hurt. She was being helped by paramedics in the hallway. I still remember the look on her face. Outside, we were taken to a nearby concert venue for reunification. Parents were already there, panicked, crying, calling names. I found out later that 10 people had lost their lives. 9 students and a teacher. 12 more were seriously injured. Some had been in the rooms closest to where it began. The person responsible, a former student who had legally owned 2 weapons, was found by police a few minutes after we were evacuated. He had taken his own life before they reached him. He left behind a farewell note and a message to his family. They found something resembling an improvised device in his home, but it wasn't functional. There was no clear motive. Some said he felt invisible. Others blamed online influences. But none of it explains the choice he made. What I remember most isn't what I saw. It's what I felt. The stillness. The weight in the air. The knowledge that, at any moment, everything could end. The school eventually reopened. Some rooms had to be renovated. Others were left untouched. But we weren't the same. Some students left. Others started therapy. I started jumping at loud noises. Books dropped. Doors slammed. Even now, every time the hallway goes quiet, my stomach twists. I survived by hiding in a closet. Some of my classmates didn't get the same chance, and I'm telling this story not for shock, but because silence is the thing that lets this keep happening. We can't pretend it only happens somewhere else. It happened here, and we remember. June 10th, 2025. Graz, Austria. 10 lives lost. Countless changed forever.